Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, as part of this systematic study of Vedic scriptures, we are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and that very, very important chapter, the Yoga of the Supreme Person, Purushottama Yoga. And Bhagavad Gita is such a wonderful means through which we can attain our goal. Our ultimate goal, when we understand, is to navigate through all odds to the Lord, to our goal. And why Bhagavad Gita is favorable is because just like when one is sailing in a boat across the ocean, winds play a favorable role to support, to give a push. The same winds can also be opposing, so that whatever our goal is, uh, then it might make it difficult for us to go there because the favorable winds are not there. So the scriptures help us as a favorable wind, and anything else, so-called knowledge, anything else that is mundane, anything else that is material, is not actually favoring us, which is actually obstructing us, which is actually pushing us, opposing us, so that our spirit of what do you call this? The spirit of pedaling, or what do we call this? Rowing. The spirit of rowing to the goal is hampered. The spirit that we may have to want to achieve our goal. All of us want to achieve our goal, but as soon as when the conditions are unfavorable, what we will do is we will either postpone it or permanently think, oh, it's not achievable, it's impossible, let's not do it and give it up. So that's why Srimad Bhagavad Gita is very, very important for us, because it provides that favorable conditions, that favorable environment, that favorable spirit that we need in the form of very soothing, pleasant, and um, most important conditions, so that we are not only just aspiring, our aspiration is amplified, um, and we can attain our goal, to attain the ultimate goal, that is the Supreme Person. In that, this chapter, as I said, is very important, and we are going through a few verses which helps us to understand the importance of Bhagavad Gita. I'm just sharing the screen. Do let me know if you can see and would like to read one verse. Yeah, do let me know now. Do you see me? Do you see the screen?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay, nice. So, Shweta Mataji, are you on phone or are you able to read this verse? I think last time.
Actually, here the network is also coming and going. I have seated in another room today.
Okay.
So I will try.
You try
If
and
the
then we'll
net
see. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're trying, but we can't hear you.
uh,
Maybe,
it's
yeah.
okay, my voice must be breaking because I am also not okay. I will change the network. Meanwhile, someone can start. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sagar Prabhu?
Oh, yes. Give me one sec. So this is
1517.
1517. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uttamah Purushas Swast Purushastvanyah परमात्मे परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः. Translation: Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. Perfect. The idea of this verse is very nicely expressed in Kathopanishad and Shvetavastra Upanishad. It is clearly stated that it is clearly stated there that above the innumerable living entities, some of whom are conditioned and some of whom are liberated, there is the Supreme Personality who is Paramatma. The Upanishadic verse runs as follows: Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetana Chetananam. The purport is that amongst all the living entities, both conditioned and liberated, there is one supreme living personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintains them and gives them all the facility of enjoyment according to different work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. A wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace, not others. Dhanyavad.
Yeah, thank you, Sagar Prabhu. So this is already a saying Uttama Purusha. Yeah. So Purushottama, we know the Lord is called Purushottama because he's the best among the Purushas. And Purusha also is the personality. So we cannot say that I am a great personality. Sagar Prabhu, we may have heard, right? So many people here, I am great. Yeah, I'm a great person. Usually, as soon as when someone is saying I'm a great personality, usually that is given for a very, very special person. And that too, that is kind of a, what, perspectively, some person may think that a person can be called as a personality. And it has become so common now. If we want to say personality, what do we refer here? You are a great personality. They usually say physical appearance, right? If someone is having a six-pack, then they would say, hey, you are a great personality. I'm not seeing anyone. 1 second. Yes. Isn't it the case these days? What do others say? Here we see that Uttama the best and Purushas, Uttama Purushastva Anya, another, and Paramatmeti Udharahrit. Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Vibharti Avyaya Ishvaraha. This verse is very, very important because these three verses, 16, 17, 18, we could say is the summary of the entire knowledge. It is describing. So if you see what was the previous one, it is telling about the infallible and fallible. There is something that is existing ever, and there is something that is not existing. There are two. Dvavimau Purusho Loke. Loko Ishvare Kshara. One that is perishable, one that is fallible, one that is not infallible. That is infallible, sorry. Eva cha kshara sarvani bhutani. Kshara means we know which can be fallible. We know alphabets are called akshara. That cannot be broken down anymore. Kshara sarvani bhutani. Kutasto akshara uchyati. Akshara is infallible. Chete said there are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. So, this is the first verse which can give us understanding of the whole essence of the Vedas that we discussed last time. And here, there also exist in one Sharvani Bhutani. Any living entity who has come in contact with matter, beginning from the first creator, Brahma, down to a small ant, is changing its body. Therefore, they are called infallible. In spiritual world, however, they are always liberated ones. So this is the understanding. The living entity is eternal part and parcel. But how the same eternal part and parcel, yeah, is believing or is conditioned as a baddha. Ideally, everyone in the spiritual world, everyone is nitya siddha. Everyone is liberated. And then once one comes in contact with the matter, then he becomes nitya baddha. Yeah. So then this understanding can be refined, saying so that there are always beings who will not fall at all, who are always eternally present. Actually speaking, the two-third of the creation of the Lord, which is the spiritual world, uh, um, is filled with all spiritual beings. They have nothing to do with the matter, material world, nothing. It is only one third, which is the Lord's creation, which is shadowed by the material energy of the Lord. And then people who desire and aspire to be enjoying separately with the Lord, they are casted into this facility, so that it is only one third. And these one third beings, they can go to the spiritual world and they may come back to the material world based on their based on their desire. And then the next verse is, I think we are already in the next verse. Yeah, 17th verse is telling about the understanding Uttama Purushatva Anya. So beside these two, there is greatest living personality. Who is that? It is the Supreme Lord. There is nothing like, okay, the Lord, once he comes to this material world, if he becomes a Kurma avatar, then he becomes just a tortoise. If he takes a form of a lion, then he's becoming just a lion. If he takes a human form, he becomes a human form. It's not like that. He's always imperishable. He is not conditioned by the material energy, that because of the conditioning that he will be going to also, he is going through all kinds of troubles. We are dwelling ourselves in thoughts of the whole Ramayana, and then some people might say that Ram, see, he is one of the human being, maybe some special human being. Otherwise, why will he have all kinds of difficulties? And you see that if he is all powerful, first of all, why doesn't he know that Sita Devi, someone will come and trap and kidnap and all these things? People will talk, thinking that, okay, Lord may be there, yeah, but he takes human form, he becomes a human. This is not the fact, because one who is a human, he is under the material influence, he is a conditioned being. Whereas the Lord, when he comes, doesn't matter. And who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. The idea in this verse is very, very nicely explained in Kathopanishad, Svetaswara Upanishad. It is clearly stated that they above the innumerable living entities. So we are only part and parcel of one personality, who is the Supreme Personality. And the Upanishads run as follows: Nityo Nityanam Chetasnas Chetananam Eko Bahudam Vidadati Kaman. So this is the understanding of the Vedas. They clearly say that Atmanityo Vyaya Suddha Eka Kshetrajna Ashraya. So we are all taking shelter of that one person. We are all taking the shelter of that one person who is maintaining everything. And how? Krishna is saying also in Bhagavad Gita in 15:7, Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Prakristhani Karshati. Only people who have desire to dwell in the material world, then I cast them into that. So this is the understanding of the scriptures, Vedantas. Yeah, here we see Katha Upanishad, Svetaswara Upanishad also are saying, clearly stated that above the innumerable living entities, some of whom are conditioned and some of whom are liberated, there is Supreme Personality who is Paramatma. Here the Lord is the localized personality, that who is dwelling in everyone's heart is mentioned, referred here. The Upanishad verse runs as Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The purport is that among all the living entities, both conditioned and liberated, there is one supreme living personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintains them and gives them all the facility of enjoyment according to different work. Hmm? The Supreme, the Lord, uh, uh, just trying to get the flow. Yes. Yes. I was referring to this Katha Upanishad, the complete verse. Yeah. Nityo nityananam chetanas chetananam eko bahudam yo vidadati kaman tamatmatstam yo anupasyati dhira tesham shanti shaswati netaresham. This is the verse that mentions that there is one who is eternal reality. One eternal reality, yeah, is always there among non-eternal objects. The one truly conscious entity among conscious objects, and who, though eko bahunam, there are many beings are there, but one is above that, fulfills the desire of many. It's not that we fulfill his desires, but there is one who fulfills everyone's desire. And then eternal peace belongs to the wise who perceive him within themselves, not to others. So when we understand what is the ultimate means through which we can attain ultimate peace is by realizing this supreme being, Paramatma in one's heart. So a wise man, yeah, here also we see that the purport is clearly saying a wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace. This is the understanding also of this verse. Hmm? Who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. So that is helping us to understand when the Lord appears in this world, he doesn't appear. Even when he is present in our heart, we know that this body is made of matter, but within this body is our own spirit, self. Self is there, and then there is also supreme self. Atma and Paramatma are dwelling in this body, untouched, not contaminated. It is only the Lord as the Upadrashta. Upadrashta means one who is witnessing what everything we are doing. Yeah, in the localized form as Paramatma, Brahmeti Bhagwaneti Paramatmeti Shabdyate. It means that the Lord who can manifest in multiple magnitudes and capacities. He can manifest himself as Purna Purushottam, as Supreme Lord Krishna. He can manifest in his expansions, in his plenary expansions, in these plenary portions of plenary expansions, in innumerable expansions, he can come, he can appear. But every expansion qualitatively is equal. That is not that, okay, qualitatively, okay. For example, in the case of Narsimha Avatar, he has not um, um, shown about Madhurya Ras. Doesn't mean that, oh, Narsingadev is inferior. No, no question about it, because he is Vishnu Tattva. Yeah. Any questions before we go to this next one? Okay. Then we take the third one, the third verse. Someone would like to read this? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I'm audible. Okay. Someone would like to read this verse, please?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Yashmat ksharam atitoham aksharad apichottamaha atosmi loka vedecha pratita purushottamaha. Translation. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Purport.
Yeah, please.
Oh, Prabhuji, can you scroll down?
Yes, sorry.
No one
This is
can
very...
surpass the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. It is incorrect to think of the Supreme Lord and the living entities as being on the same level or equal in all respects. There is always the question of superiority and inferiority between their personalities. The word Uttama is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama, the Smriti scriptures, as confirmed in the Nirukuti dictionary, Lokayate Vedharto Nenaha. The purpose of the Vedas is explained by the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord, in his localized aspect of Paramatma, is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas, Chandogya Upanishad 8.12.3. Tavad Esha Samprasado Smat Charirat Samuttaya Paramjyoti Rupam Sampadya Svena Rupena Binishpadyate Sha Uttamaha Purusha. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahma Jyotir. Then in his form he remains in his spiritual identity. The Supreme is called the Supreme Personality. This means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing a spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination. That Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect as Paramatma. By incarnating himself as a son of Satyavati and Parashara, he explains the Vedic knowledge as Vyasadeva. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Dinath Prabhu. It's a wonderful verse. Yeah. The reason being is gives us two important things here. First thing is the Lord, in the form of Krishna, he is declaring this. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and infallible, and because I am the greatest, and I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. So who is declaring this? Krishna is declaring.
Krishna himself.
This is one thing. And now when we go into the purport, Prabhupada is explaining us to understand no one can surpass the supreme personality of God, Krishna. Why? In the strength of the words of the Lord himself. A devotee doesn't concoct anything. A devotee doesn't, intercept something into it, or manipulate the message of the Lord. He's just a messenger of the Lord. A devotee means one who is really devoted to the Lord. A devotee is always dedicated in spreading the message of the Lord. In that, he is very, very eager and sincere not to misinterpret something and misguide people, because the Lord himself is, we know that Krishna, who is Purushottama, who is always relishing the services of his devotees in the form of Dasyaras, in the form of Sakhyaras, in the form of Vatsalyaras, in the form of Madhuryaras. Yeah. So he is complete in himself, but he is coming down in Dwapar Yuga to once again re-establish the principles of Bhagavad Gita, which was given to Sun God. So himself. This is something like this, right, Dinath Prabhu? I have given you something, a task in hand, and you have established a parampara, and then you have passed it on, and your next generations have passed it on, and all of a sudden, then there is a break. And obvious would be that, okay, someone comes to re-establish. Yeah, because the message has to go on, that the way of what is right should be followed, and the Lord himself has come to establish that. And and he sent his assistants. He could send, he could definitely send, there is no question about it, but he would like to also relish pastimes in Bhaumya Vrindavan. So he manifests also the pastimes where this Hastinapur is there, where the Pandavas, who are his devotees, are there, the Kunti is there. Everything is manifested, and then the Leela is going on. And then the time comes, the right time comes, when this moments where the Dharma Yuddha, because Krishna is saying that I establish the Dharma and punish the people who are miscreants. So the time has come, and he himself speaks Bhagavad Gita. So we shouldn't have any question about it. The supremacy of the Lord. Why can't he send his messenger? He can send his messenger or he can appear himself. He is completely independent. Isn't it? Anyone want to have a second thought or a question about it? Anyone would have come across such a situation, such a discussion? No? Fine. So it's very clear, right? And no one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. Even Nitya Baddhas, Nitya Siddhas, doesn't matter. Everyone are subordinate to the Supreme Lord, because the Lord himself is saying, beyond these two classes of beings, I am there. He is therefore the greatest of the personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are independent individuals. The difference is that the living entity, and in this purpose is helping us to understand the differences. The living entity is compared to the Lord. Both are always individuals. Fine, this is correct. Difference is that living entity at any stage, conditioned or liberated, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. We may see one is very richest, very, very, very richest. How much rich? Are they having 1,000 golden palaces? How much? One may have one big building in the center of the city and in many, many acres of the land. Just imagine the Lord has so many golden palaces, not gold coated palaces, huh? Not even faked up. Those are real ones. And in each palace, there are so many columns made of precious gems. So just imagine how many carats, very, very precious. That if one is walking on the on the floor, one can see the reflection of themselves. Very, very rich. So in that way, who can surpass his riches? No one. We cannot surpass his potencies. We know that Lord is all powerful, and then of course he himself can uh, kill everyone who were the miscreants. If he has engaged Arjuna, does it mean that because Lord is not capable, that's why he has engaged Arjuna in this? We can see that Krishna as the Partha Sarathi was enough. He even need not lift any weapon. Then the job is done. So we can clearly see that Arjuna, who is he? Arjuna? Arjuna is devotee of Krishna. So Arjuna here we can still see that it is Krishna who has done the job, but through his devotee, so that he can give all the credit to the Lord, to his devotee, sorry. So in that way, we can see that no one can surpass his potencies. No one can surpass his beauty. No one can surpass his riches. No one can surpass his power. All means everyone is subordinate. These two are important to understand. They are individuals, always individuals, but there is a difference. These 2 points refute that Supreme Lord and living entity are equal in all respects. Thus, it also refutes the philosophy of Mayavad that one fine day we can also become God. Or other version is one fine day, the Lord, when he takes a birth, Janma, then because he has taken birth as Ram, he has become human. Both are not correct. Because by Lord becoming a human, he is not supreme person, so that cannot fit. And one, if they work out their plans by doing some yoga and by always meditating on the Brahman, then they can merge in Brahman, and by becoming merged in Brahman, no, they cannot stay eternally there. So, which means that even if they are just becoming part and parcel of that Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, that's effulgence, the Lord is not just only Brahma Jyoti, he is manifesting as Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And one cannot attain that by merging in the Brahma Jyoti. And then it goes further. The word Uttama is very important. This indicates the word Uttama. No one can surpass the supreme position of the Supreme Lord. This is the understanding. This is the clear understanding that one should understand. It is not because people are jealous. Sometimes people are envious of the position of the Lord, because why everything is offered to the Lord? If someone is asking money, they say, no, 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 I don't have money, but he's ready to give all charities and all, arrange his own home like a very nice with golden throne, or whatever, all arrangements. And people obviously will think, hey, we feel envious or jealous. Why such arrangements are given not to me, but to the Lord? So we are envious of the Lord's position. Hmm? We are sometimes feeling jealous about this. The word Uttama is very significant here. No one can surpass the Supreme Person. This shows an understanding. I I think at least some other religions are very, very strict in this, so that people even not have a second thought. Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma is so liberal that people have full freedom to think, so that they can understand. And when they understand, then they can follow, then they can do the practice. In other religions, just imagine when someone is saying, hey, comparing the Lord itself is an offense, criminal offense. I don't know if someone would have heard, huh? Not heard, I don't know. Just giving a form to the Lord itself, they think, oh, it's an offense. Because by giving a form, we are restricting the form of the Lord. No? What is it called? Uh, idol worship. Huh? Idol worship is condemned, right? But it is condemned so much that they do not understand that Lord can also come in the form. That if Lord would like to manifest himself, he can form himself in this idol or deity form that one can worship. But that doesn't mean that Lord is only that deity. No, he is more than that. The word loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama. This what is that? Lokyate Devarto Anena. The purpose of Vedas is explained by the Smritis, and the Upanishads are giving us this. What is that? I tried. Tavad Esha Samprasado Asmach Charirat Samutaya Param Jyoti Rupam. Sampadya Svena Rupenabhispadyate Sa Uttama Purusha. Definition. The Supreme Soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Then in his form, he remains in his spiritual identity. That Supreme is called the Supreme Personal Godhead. So this means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead has a localized aspect as Paramatma. By incarnating himself as the son of Satyavati and Parashara, he explains the Vedic knowledge as Vedavyas. So we see that the Vedas are also authorized. This is not a novel where someone, because we have brain cells and because of this, we have the potency to think. Because of that, we have the potency of imagination. Because of imagination, we can create something and let's put it into a form. No, this is not like that. It is not a freestyle, independent endeavor of one who wants to uh, create a whole plethora of scriptures. No, Vedavyas is the son of Satyavati and Parashara Muni, not ordinary beings, and also not ordinary personality, because the Lord Himself has incarnated in this way as a Vedavyas. So in both the ways, we can accept the statement of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna himself is declaring, and also Vedavyas, who is an expansion of the Lord, who has written all the scriptures, is a Paurushaya in the form of Smritis, are the references through which we can understand the Supreme Lord is uh, uh, Lord Krishna. Any questions here? No questions, then we conclude with the last one. Someone want to read this?
Yes, I can.
Give it a try.
योमामेव समुद्धो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमम् स सर्वविद्त्वमज्वति मां सर्वभावेन भारत. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. Purport. There are many philosophical speculations about the constitutional position of the living entities and the supreme absolute truth. Now, in this verse, the Supreme Personality of Godhead clearly explains that anyone who knows Lord Krishna to be the Supreme Person is actually the knower of everything. The imperfect knower goes on simply speculating about the absolute truth, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in Krishna consciousness, the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Throughout the whole of Bhagavad Gita, this fact is being stressed at every step. And still, there are so many stubborn commenters on Bhagavad Gita who consider the supreme absolute truth and the living entities to be one and the same. Vedic knowledge is called Sruti, learning by or oral reception. One should actually receive the Vedic message from authorities like Krishna and his representatives. Here, Krishna distinguishes everything very nicely, and one should hear from this source. Simply to hear like the hawks is not sufficient. One must be able to understand from the authorities. It is not that one should simply speculate academically. One should submissively hear from Bhagavad Gita that these living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is able to understand this, according to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, knows the purpose of the Vedas. No one else knows the purpose of the Vedas. The word bhajati is very significant. In many places, the word bhajati is expressed in relationship with the service of the Supreme Lord. If a person is engaged in full Krishna consciousness in the devotional service of the Lord, it is to be understood that he has understood all the Vedic knowledge. In the Vaishnava Parampara, it is said that if one is engaged in the devotional service of Krishna, then there is no need for any other spiritual process for understanding the supreme absolute truth. He has already come to the point because he is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He has ended all preliminary processes of understanding. But if anyone, after speculating for hundreds of thousands of lives, does not come to the point that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and that one has to surrender there, all his speculations for so many years and lives is a useless waste of time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Shweta Matai. So this is kind of understanding of the three verses. What will happen to such a person is mentioned here, right? So here we see that to understand Bhagavad Gita is so important in our life. Why? Because there's something called perfect knowers, imperfect knowers. Who is a perfect knower is one who engages in devotional service. Because Krishna is saying here, whoever knows me as a supreme person of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. So just knowing Bhagavad Gita but not engaging in service means he has not understood Bhagavad Gita properly. Why? Because some people may want to play with or juggle with some nice scriptures. You know what is it called? Not endeavoring. It's something like people would like to become popular. How can I become popular? Is by picking up and venturing, right? That is the word. Trying to venture into something that has high demand. Sometimes you may have seen in our if someone is coming from IT background, we may see when C language became popular, immediately you can see so many thousands of books on C. Then came C++, then came Java. So for as soon as a new language comes, then immediately there's so many people who want to write it. Some may say we want to make it simple. Some may want to say that okay, we have covered those things extra. But in this whole process, so many thousands of scriptures come so that one can benefit from it. Shweta Mataji, if someone writes a book on something, is it just because he wants to, yeah, it's a hobby? Hmm?
Not always.
Yeah, so he would like to make sure that I want to give something to the world. Yeah, some may become very philanthropic. He says, I have taken so much from the nature, I want to give it back. I have taken so much from the community, I want to give something back to the community. That is in the mode of goodness. And someone is in the mode of passion. I want to, hey, no one knows how great I am. Let me put up all that I know. No one would have thought about it. Let me provide that to the and make more money, the mode of passion. In the mode of ignorance, write those scriptures which are forbidden. Yeah, see, Kama Sutra has become so famous. The world is dwelling in the mode of enjoyment, sense gratification. Let me bring books which can have more demand and earn more money. So in that way, there are plethora of books, writers, and publishers, producers, and also people, huh? Isn't it? And then all this knowledge is making one imperfect. Uh, what vision we want to have through which we can see Premanjana Churata Bhakti Virochanena. What is that eyes we should have is Premanjana, ointed with, not tainted, ointed with love. But our what is happening? What is happening? Instead of premanjana, we have kamanjana. Hmm. I don't know if there is a word like that, but it's kind of our eyes are covered with lust to lust to enjoy for one own self. In the subtle way to the grossest possible way, people always are eager. What can I get from something? मुझे क्या मिलेगा? This is always there in the mind. And our eyes are always looking for such things. If we don't find, if someone is coming and saying, "Hey, Prabhu, can you? This is a book of Bhagavad Gita. Would you like to just give some donation? You can give anything. You can take this book for you." No, our eyes are not seeing that because our eyes are lusty. How can Bhagavad Gita serve me? Because even in taking a Bhagavad Gita, we are looking for what? We want something from Bhagavad Gita which can satisfy my senses. If Bhagavad Gita is going to guarantee me a happy life, happy materialistic life, I am ready. But if it is going to tell something which is fluffy, which is something not so straightforward, how I want a formula. I want a formula through which I can become the richest. I can earn more. If that kind of books are there, which are explicitly saying and bestseller reviews are telling how one has become rich, I want to buy that. Otherwise, not interested. So in this way, this is what is happening. We want to be cheated. Who is that? Sadish Prabhu? Is it not the case? The world, 99% is doing what? How best I can be cheated, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
The best way, how I can be cheated? By looking for those books which are telling how to become engrossed materialist. If I'm becoming the first class materialist, that means I am first class cheated, not cheater.
Yes, Prabhuji. You're right, Prabhuji.
And then this is what happens. Who is a perfect knower? A perfect knower is one who understands the purpose of Vedas, engages in what? Krishna consciousness without any speculation. Clearly knows Krishna as the supreme person. Where And then the imperfect knower is one who does speculate on the absolute truth. There are also people, come on, there are so many people, not only so much gross materialist. There are people, after all, struggling, trying to understand the Lord. But why you want to try your own self? I am a seeker. Only seek, then you understand. Hmm? Yeah, good luck. Hmm? A person, if he want to seek who are his parents, what will he do? He starts asking everyone who is around him, can you tell me who are my parents? And what will the people do? Dinath Prabhu? No, if a child is looking, can you tell me who are my parents? What will the people huh, do? They'll simply laugh, isn't it? Hmm? And some may feel very pity about the condition of the person. You don't know your parents, you don't know your mother and father, and what do we call them? Hmm? What do we call them? We call them orphans. Oh, they don't know their parents. It's not that they don't have parents. They're not. They're not the like Lord who do not have parents. It's only that the pathetic situation is they don't know their parents, and then they may start speculating. Oh, I don't know who are my parents. And he can't simply go and ask, hey, are you my mother? Are you my father? You know what kind of situation he may have to go through if he starts doing that. No. Hmm? By speculation, it's very, very risky. It's very, very dangerous. Hmm? Similarly, our identity, we don't want to speculate our identity. We don't want, because it only can create embarrassing situation. Rather, we take the shelter of what? Vedas, in the form of mother, who can clearly tell who are we, who is our father, everything crystal clear. So we want to understand the knowledge from the perfect knowers. So, otherwise, what is the imperfect knower goes on simply speculating about the absolute truth, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in Krishna consciousness. What is the reason why we do japa? What is the purpose of japa? Is to understand this basic principle, to re-establish, no, um, to revive our forgotten identity. We have the identity crisis because we have identified with matter. But through the japa, what is happening is we are purifying our consciousness so that we can see who we are. Throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita, this fact is being stressed at every step, and still there are so many stubborn commentators on Bhagavad Gita who consider the supreme absolute truth and the living entities to be one and the same. That is the reason when he went to the US, it's not like he liked this title that Bhagavad Gita as it is so nice, which means people will be easily cheated. As it is means they are innocent US people. They will only buy if there is. It's not a strategy. It is not a strategy that Prabhupada has named Bhagavad Gita as it is just to make more money because already there are so many books there. No, he understood that these Bhagavad Gitas, the commentators have given different interpretations which are not aligned towards what Krishna has given the direct message. Vedic knowledge is called Shruti. Learning by oral reception. One should actually receive the Vedic message from authorities like Krishna and his representatives. So we have to understand that what is the lineage. If just one book comes, if a person has become famous and if he starts writing Bhagavad Gita, yeah, and then it becomes also famous. Yes, but what about the message? If a person has become famous and he has come with some understanding, and if we want to also push that understanding in Bhagavad Gita, the whole Bhagavad Gita is polluted because we are not interested in the message of the special famous person. We are interested in the message of the supreme person. One should submissively hear from Bhagavad Gita that these living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality Godhead. Anyone who is able to understand this according to the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna knows the purpose of Vedas. No one else knows the purpose of Vedas. And then, very important, how can we know this? Is bhajati. We have to do bhajan. In many places, the word bhajati is expressed in relation with the service of the Lord. If a person is engaged in the full Krishna consciousness in devotional service of the Lord, it is to be understood that he has understood all the Vedic knowledge. In the Vaishnava Parampara, it is said that if one is engaged in devotional service, then there is no need for any other spiritual process for understanding the supreme absolute truth. This is very, very important. We want to put our hands in many things, our legs in many things, thinking that if one will not work, at least something else works. Sagar Prabhu, typical investment plan, right? If I'm investing, I should make sure that I invest in multiple things, that I don't incur uh, loss, um, and then recovery strategy is difficult. No, let's put things in multiple places. If what is the guarantee that Krishna is the supreme? Let me also put some faith in Allah. Let me also put some faith in Christianity. Let me also put some faith in nature. Let me put faith in Shiva. Let me put faith in Durga. So in that way, let's put everywhere. In that way, how many crore of gods we have? 3 crore. Now, how much investment can we do? What investment we will do? What returns we will get? It's very clear. Rather, we should understand that Krishna himself is personally telling. Krishna is declaring here, he has written the Vedas in the form of Vyasadeva. So we have to take that, understand, apply. It's very simple. But if anyone, after speculating for hundreds of thousands of lives, does not come to the point that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and that one has to surrender there, all his speculation for so many years and lives is a useless waste of time. And whenever we are asking anyone, can you do this? The first thing what we hear is, sorry, but I am occupied elsewhere. I am busy. I don't have time now. Sorry. So now we have to understand who is wasting time. One who is not engaged in service is wasting time. And one who engages in time, he is using the best available time he has. Yep, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Questions in the last verse of this chapter we'll discuss next week. Are there any questions till now? Anyone want to share or add something? What did you find interesting that you want to pick from today?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Here, I was just wanting to know this Treta Dwapar Yuga, like Satyug also. We just say like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are the creators of when in Satyuga they were as the creators of Prithvi addressed. And then, I was just discussing this with kids, and they were having these questions. Actually, like in the last verse, na, what is told, who believes, they believe without doubt. But when you explain to the kids or any other who don't believe for then some questions come up, and then I was also thinking how to explain them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the question?
That when Mahashivratri came and we were discussing about Lord Shiva. So their question was: is Krishna, Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma all are the same? Because the we call Krishna as the avatar of Vishnu, Ram as also avatar of Vishnu in different yugas, right? Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga. So one is in Treta Yuga, one is in
Okay.
Dwapar Yuga. So what about Brahma and Shiva in this context? Because Vishnu say from Vishnu, these two avatars, like incarnations of Vishnu, we consider as Ram and Krishna.
So,
So,
yeah, that's a nice question. Let's understand. There are multiple ways to understand this. One way is simple.
mm,
We see that when we talk in the context of Trinity, yeah, Brahma, Mahesh, and
mm,
Vishnu. Yeah.
Vishnu.
So we know that from the Lord's navel came the lotus from which Brahma
Mm,
appeared.
mm.
So which means who was there before?
Vishnu.
Vishnu is there.
Mm,
Then when we talk about Mahesh, yeah, so the
mm,
Mahesh who is in the material world, from when we also know about Rudra. right?
Hmm.
The Lord Mahesh is called Rudra.
Rudra, yeah.
From where he manifested? He manifested from Lord Brahma's
Jata.
um,
Jata.
eyes, yeah, from the eyebrows when he got disturbed.
Eyebrows.
No,
Okay.
no, not from Jeta.
Hmm.
So we see that, okay, if we are talking in the context of time, they have appeared in different times. Yeah. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
but we can also understand that they are called Purusha avatars.
Uh,
Yeah. Am I
Brahma
right?
and Mahesh.
Guna avatar, sorry. Guna,
Guna Avatar. Yeah,
Guna
not
avatars.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Guna Avatar. Yeah.
Purusha avatar. Guna avatar. So the Lord Vishnu himself is manifesting as Lord Shiva, or he's manifesting as Lord Brahma to
Hmm.
to rule or to uh, predominate over these gunas, three gunas.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
this is clear. So which means that when Narad Muni has asked Lord Brahma, who is the supreme, are
Hmm.
you the supreme? He even clearly asked in Bhagavatam, we can see Lord Brahma simply said, I am not the supreme. I am myself created, and I don't even know what to do. Then the Lord has there was this transcendental vibration called tapa, 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 and when I
Hmm.
meditated, then I could realize. And so we can see that he is in a seeking, right? So a being,
Hmm.
supreme
Hmm.
being, not the
Yes.
supreme God. So we can understand this.
Hmm.
And even Vishnu, yeah, when you are saying Krishna has appeared, Ram has appeared from Vishnu, in the
Hmm.
material context, when the Lord is manifesting in the material world,
Actual.
he is
Hmm.
manifesting through Vishnu. Doesn't mean that okay, Krishna is an incarnation of the Lord, because Srimad Bhagavatam again says the Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, I think chapter 6 or second, I don't know, 6 it should be. So in that, they're all principal incarnations of the Lord are explained. Varaha, Kurma, Dhanvantari, and all
Mm-hmm.
explanations are given. And the final verse, I think 19th, it is said that Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
So Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead from whom so many levels of incarnations, as I was mentioning, expansions. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just imagine a big, very big company is there. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? The
Yes.
the order that he has set will be followed to the down, right?
Yeah.
And how it is followed is by his administration.
Yeah.
Hmm? It can be
Yes.
by his administration, or it can also be by his family members, isn't it? Huh?
Yes.
Family members also, if they say, it will happen. It's not
Hmm.
like, oh, no, 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 only your father. If he says,
Hmm.
he said, no. So that kind of representation, hmm, the Lord is there in the Goloka along with
Hmm.
his principal Sakhis. So,
Hmm.
and then he can also appear in the Bhumi of Vrindavan.
Hmm.
And just as we have seen, and I mean, I really see, I initially when I was watching this animation from about what is it called, Little Krishna, I didn't
Hmm.
realize that, but later after reading this reference in the scripture in Krishna
Hmm.
book, 10th canto, then I understand when Lord is appearing in the material world, uh, he is first having this four hands. Yeah, you may see, right? Devaki has this vision
Hmm.
of four hands. Then Devaki is asking, can you show me your original form in the two
Hmm.
hand, 200 form? Same in
Hmm.
Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna, Arjuna, and Arjuna is asking, can you show me your two-handed form?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. If if the thing is that if Vishnu, Krishna is coming from Vishnu,
Hmm.
hmm, if Krishna is coming from Vishnu, that's fine. But if we see that way, that oh, now Krishna is just an incarnation of Vishnu, yeah,
Hmm.
so does it mean that Krishna is subordinate to Vishnu? No question.
Hmm.
All Vishnu tattvas are same qualitatively.
Hmm. Hmm. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then there is whole hierarchy. We are just talking about only this universe. The
Hmm.
three natives are coming in the context of only this universe. But
Yeah.
okay, now the question comes, okay, what about other universes? From where
Hmm.
are these coming? Huh?
Hmm.
There is this Karanadaksai Vishnu, who is laying down in the ocean, on from
Hmm.
whom, when he's inhaling and exhaling, universes are created and destroyed. And each
Hmm.
such created universe, then the Lord Himself is going as Kshirodakashai Vishnu,
Hmm.
or sorry, Garbhodakashai
Yeah.
Vishnu. And
Sarvadakshaya
from him,
Shabadakshaya.
uh, Lord Brahma is coming, Lord Shiva is coming. So all this creation is happening. So that way we go up a level above, we can see Mahavishnu is there. From Mahavishnu only the Trinities have come.
Mm.
And from
Yes.
whom Mahavishnu has come? Mahavishnu has come from Sankarshan. And who is Sankarshan? So in that way, there is whole hierarchy going straight to Krishna.
Okay. Yes, helpful. This is very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. And this is also beyond the context of time. At least in the universe context, we have a time, there is a creation. That's why there is a creator, there is a destruction,
Mm.
annihilation, there is a annihilator in the form of
Mm.
Lord Shiva. But in
Mm.
the whole, in the context of spiritual world, which is there is no annihilation happening.
Mm.
There is, we
Mm.
are seeing about there is so many Vaikuntha planets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in each Vaikuntha planet there is Vishnu, and Vaikuntha planets are also Ayodhya Dhams are counted into
Mm.
that. Jagannath Puri
Mm.
Dham is counted. So in that way, so many dhams are
Mm.
counted into that, which are
Mm.
imperishable. Those are manifesting in the material world for our benefit.
Mm.
Ayodhya Dham is there, Ayodhya Dham is here. Vrindavan is there, Vrindavan is here.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so the Lord is in the spiritual world, always eternally being served. He is coming
Yeah.
here so that he can take us back. So he does some pastimes.
Mm.
That's how our understanding should be, so that then we have full clarity. If Lord
Yeah.
Ram is going through some tough times, it doesn't mean that okay, the Lord is a human. No, Lord is
Mm.
always Lord.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
That's how we can understand that okay, Leelas happen. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we may think these are just mundane activities.
Mm. Yes.
Yep.
When explaining to others, all this will come up for us, like
when
those
when
who doubt.
explaining others, yeah, so explaining others this thing, we should not explain this, rather we should ask them to read.
Read
we
it. Yeah.
should we should have such books in our hand always at our home, so that if
Mm.
someone is asking such questions, we can just simply just give a very 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 high level and ask them to read, because in just few minutes how much can we tell?
No, it's just for kids mainly, Prabhuji. I mean,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us, these books are right, but for kids, I was also searching some good book where
Yeah.
these are
For kids,
written in correct manner, na?
yeah, yeah.
So, like these are some I have told to this book is like as it is little heavy for them. So I was just
Mhm.
searching a simpler version wherein these
Yeah.
things can be
But for
explained in.
Arush, I think
Yeah,
this is a
he
perfect.
has,
He doesn't have to
yeah,
go any.
yeah, not for him, yeah.
Yeah.
But just, yeah, multiple small books or explaining these
Yeah,
things.
yeah. So that's the reason there is a list of books how one can read from one, two,
Mm,
three, four, in that way, like
mm,
10 books in an order.
mm,
When we
mm.
read in an order, these are not big books. Yeah, we can take a target. Yeah, it's like 50 pages, a target for a
That is
week.
Krishna Lila book, Prabhuji, which you are talking about, this 1 to 10.
Which book? I didn't understand. Say again.
This 1 to 10, 1 to 10, which order you are talking about, that is
Mhm.
Bhagavatam about, no, Bhagavatam, which book series you are talking about?
There are small books written by Srila Prabhupada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With
There is an
numbers.
order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can share the list with you. Then and
Yeah,
then you
then
can,
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you can
Sure.
reach out to Rishabh Prabhu or someone. Then they can provide
Yeah,
all the books, like
yeah,
€2, €3 per book or something.
yeah, yeah.
And then
I
one
am,
by one,
yeah.
just by reading, then we can come to this platform as you're
Yes.
already saying. So just knowing whether all the trinities are equal or not, it how important it is for me, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Only when we start coming to the level of, oh, I have to practice bhakti, now tell me who is supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, we need to have some books. Who am I, first of all?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I living? This is next. So these
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
questions are there. Hmm?
yeah. Okay. I will connect with Rishabh Prabhuji for these books. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything anyone want to share? Hmm? No, then.
Hare Krishna
Then
Prabhuji.
thank you very much for your
Yeah.
time. Yes, go Bhagwan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhuji, it is only said for Lord Krishna Is he is the Bhagwan, or it is also for Lord Vishnu is also said the same?
Yeah. So when you're asking about, is there a reference where Krishna is only addressed as Bhagwan and no one else? Is that the question?
Yes, sorry, because
Yeah.
sometimes
Even Narad
I
Muni is
don't
addressed
remember.
as Bhagavan.
Mhm.
So it depends, and that is the reason we should not just refer to any book, any writer, any author. We should really take. If you see, Prabhupada very clearly mentions what is the meaning of Bhagavan there, why he is referred as Bhagavan there. Even Narad Muni is referred as Bhagavan.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Someone has a question? No, thank you. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. And yeah, let us see next week. Others also would have come back from their tours and be joining us. I think next week we'll already have not 9 o'clock, it will be at 8 o'clock. And that will be on we are planning to start Ram on the occasion of Ram Navami, 7 days Katha, starting from 11th, if I'm right. The schedule, everything will be shared later with the flyer. So on Saturday and Sunday, instead of Bhagavatam and this course, we'll have Ram Katha at 8 o'clock. Yeah, just mentioning it here. This came up just this morning and just wanted to mention this. Yeah, please also share this flyer about Ram Navami, the daily course as well as the event. I have not yet looked into how many have registered, how many places are there, but I'm just yeah, taking the opportunity sharing this. It will be once again a wonderful celebration, and if everyone is coming, it will be very, very nice. In that way, we can do bhajati. We can serve the Lord properly. Thank you. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण।
Prabhuji, I've just shared the flyer, Prabhuji. Maybe if you can give your comment, I can, you know, um, just today, I don't know if I'll come to the temple. I'm not keeping well, Prabhuji, but at least I can close.
Okay, this flyer I'm just seeing that TH should go up. Yeah, 11th, 12th, 13th. That
Okay.
TH should go up.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Srimad Ramayana Kathamrita is up. Nice. The Ayodhya is nice. The flyer. Sundarkanda, Kishkindakanda. And if possible, let's use the Balram font for the Kanda. Line above, na?
Uh,
Like Devanagari.
they,
Kishkindakanda.
Balram, Prabhuji, sorry.
Balaram font.
Okay,
Font.
sir.
Yeah, the one that you use for Bhagavata, where A is having a line on the top, na, on the head.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Saptah. So something like that. And another thing is one kand per day is fine. Zoom, let's not put it there.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, let's take it out. Another thing is these instead of Ayodhya Ramji, because I'm just scared that people should not confuse with the our original event
Uh,
flyer.
yes, Prabhuji. Like,
So let's put it more a kind of Rama and Leela's related photo there.
okay. Yeah, good one, Prabhuji. Yeah, even I was thinking, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Mm. And we can then remove this lamps and the rangoli down. We use the whole space for that.
Yes.
And the link that you have mentioned, t.il.ly, what is the link?
Yeah, it needs to be replaced with the Zoom link, Prabhuji, that you will give.
Okay, fine. That's nice. So as we didn't create one, no? That's why I was asking.
Yes.
Om is nice, and our logos are missing.
Okay.
And instead of if you don't have space, maybe we can put our logo and ISKCON logo there.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think I
And,
will remove the Om thing and put on both sides, probably.
yeah. And instead of this garden on the top, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let's see if we can put some Raman related, Uh, yeah, one thing I remember is this arrows, bow and arrow is one,
Okay, Prabhuji.
but think of something which are related, reminds us Ramayana.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Maybe the flowers you can keep in the center. And
Okay.
you can keep the in the center, but on the edges on the left and right top, you can put the bow and arrow shooting towards the center. I mean, towards up,
Okay, yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
this direction from like that.
Okay.
And yeah, where we have now peacocks, no? In the
Peacock?
down peacocks area,
Peacock, yes.
peacock feathers.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Maybe something which we can use the opportunity to make it more related to Ram. Reminds us more Ram.
Okay, okay. Peacock.
Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji.
maybe I don't know. I don't know. Think of
No.
something if something comes
Sure.
up.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. I will work on this, Prabhuji.
But
And
need not happen today itself. But yeah,
I think,
take care of your health.
yes, Prabhuji. Only if we do today, Prabhuji, I don't know, or else people may have plans. So I will, maybe afternoon, I will send you a version, Prabhuji. If you can drop me a voice memo after that, then.
Viva, it's charging with laptop. Okay, fine.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, this is what thinking as of now,
Yes, Prabhuji.
and then share it in the group. Let's see.
Okay, okay. So I'll
And
fix.
even Srimad Ramayana Kathamrita also use wherever possible use that font.
Yeah, and Prabhuji, like when you say font, you mean to say I have to, because I'm using the Silandine font, but you're saying
That is fine. That particular letter you can change.
only the A, Prabhuji.
That A you can bring it from out if you
Oh, okay.
want.
Okay,
Like
okay, okay. So basically, when you say once again, you said the
Balaram font. It's called Balaram font.
you say Balaram font, only the A needs to be replaced across the entire.
Yeah. So if you don't get the good look text from the Balaram font for everything, just use at least those special letters where S is a line on the above or down. There's a dot.
Okay, okay. At least yes and A, right? Okay, it's called Balaram font. I didn't know this, Prabhuji. Balaram.
Otherwise, also you can use go to Veda base. In the Veda base, there is a way how you can search particular word. You
Okay.
can search for that word and then equivalent Balaram font word will be there. So like that, in that, either you take the whole word or you take that letter what we want.
I think once again, Prabhuji, it's not recording, right? Or I think it's live streaming on YouTube. I'm sorry.
It's timing still. Yeah.
Oh, I just
Stop.
want to. You can stop it, please, Prabhuji.
Know
Sorry.
how to stop. That's here.